Hello, guys. Welcome to our very first Kunoichi's Kersversations. And with me tonight, well, it may be morning or afternoon in your time zone, whenever you see this. But in Japan, it is currently 10:42 p.m. ish. Yeah, I know the time difference will get you every time. It's about 10:42 p.m. on the 4th of July. It's a Thursday evening, and with me I have one of my favorite people in the world, Miss Faustina Edward. I will let her tell you just a little bit about herself. Faustina?
Hi everyone, this is so exciting. Thank you so much, Christine, for the opportunity. So just a little bit about me. I am going into my final year of studying law. I am from Ancillary, just as Christine is, and I have a passion for helping young persons with their academic journeys and also paying kind of glitter and unicorns. So that's just a little bit about me.
Yes, Faustina is actually advocating to make glitter a color, but
Yes,
that's
yes.
for another conversation. So, Faustina, don't let's not even go there, people. Honestly. So,
Yeah.
Faustina, you said you're in your last year. Going into your last year at university. Wow, time flies. What prompted you to go into law?
So it is always a very funny story when when I speak of my journey into where I am now. So
Right.
funny thing is, when I was about 8 years old, I had this assignment in grade two. I would have been in grade two then, and it was called My Dream. Now I forgot about this assignment until one day, like maybe 3 years ago, when my mother found that book and she made me read what my dream had in there, and I was like, wow. So in that it has I want to be a lawyer when I grow up. And the reasoning I gave, well, at 8 years old, the reasoning why I wanted to be a lawyer
Right.
was so that I could wear tight clothes. I know it is very, very strange. I don't even know why I thought like that's all what lawyers did.
You wanted to
But
wear tight clothes.
yes, but at 8 years old, that's why I wanted to be a lawyer. And then I went on in that little piece of writing to say that I also wanted to be a teacher so that I could help children. And it is absolutely phenomenal, like how what I wrote when I was 8
Yeah,
is exactly what's happening in my life
the power
as
of
I'm
the word.
23. I am telling you, it blows my mind like when I actually think about like I wrote that in 2004.
Wow, wow. That's crazy. That's actually crazy to wear tight clothes. Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
But
Because
then
because the tight
I
clothes wearing lawyers.
right. But then the story always goes on to say that as I grew, then I changed my like career path. I wanted to be an accountant. So
Oh,
at secondary school, I only did business subjects. At Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, again, went to DTEMS and I focused on accounting. So throughout my 2 years there, I did like all the accounting courses. And then again, another time I'll never forget, it was the 2nd of October 2015. My business law lecturer, she called my home and I was like, how did she get my home number in the first place?
okay.
And she called me and then she was like, her husband needs a personal assistant at his office. And I remember like during our lectures, she um she she always told us that he was a lawyer because she herself, she was a practicing lawyer before she went into teaching. And
Okay.
she was like, he needs an assistant if I'm
Wow.
like unemployed or if I need a job. So I was like, yes, miss. I'm currently not working. So at that time, I was volunteering at the Ancillary RC Infant School.
Yeah.
And she called me the Saturday and told me to go in on the Monday. And then I went in on the Monday and I had the job. And
Wow.
I spent a year and 10 months there. And it is in that time when I figured out, okay, I was placed here because that's what I'm supposed to do with my life.
Yeah,
Because,
for a reason. Yeah.
yeah, things like that don't happen by chance.
Yes, girl. Yes.
Because from 8 years old to wanting to be a lawyer for that silly reason, to change into accounts and then getting that opportunity to work
Right.
with a lawyer. And it is something that so many people they don't figure out, or like sometimes they just choose career path because of their parents or something like that. But this was
Yeah.
literally something I will always say, that it is God who put me in that workplace, and that's
Yeah.
why I'm doing what I'm doing now.
Yeah, because how amazing is that? I mean, just looking back at home and the current economic climate and, unemployment rates, it's so crazy to think that she would reach out to you at your house
Right?
to tell you to come in for a job for her husband's law firm. I mean, and I also think big up to you too, because obviously you made some kind of impression on her during while you were in her class. So it had to be some kind of a connection there, but it also had to be that you actually, you're probably shining in that class. So it's like, oh, like she's thinking, oh, my husband needs someone, I should check Faustina. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
this synchronicities, this synchronicities don't just happen. Like, wow, like it,
And
like,
then I will
yeah, good.
always say to, like, it is all about doing, like just taking a step even though you don't know where it will lead. So when I left
So
Safa,
true, so true.
was May 2015, finished exams. I had nothing doing, I didn't have a job or anything. And I was like, the infant school is right there. Why not help them out? Like,
Right.
literally, why not? Like, I won't have to pay transport. I won't have to like do anything like that would cost me so much money. It's
Yeah.
literally in the village. So then I started to go in September. But even before that, in I finished exams, let's say mid-May, and for 2 weeks I spent it at the daycare in the village. So that's the daycare that I went to, because I
Me
don't know,
too.
I just still love working with children. Like, people always
Yeah.
thought I would be a teacher,
Right.
but
Because of
something
your
that
mom.
yeah, because it's in my blood. It's just, it's who I am, I guess. I don't know.
Yep.
But then something that I have also grown to appreciate is that your career and your passion don't have to be the same thing,
Yep.
because your career is what earns you a living, but your passion, it is what I would say keeps you alive.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. Wow. Hashtag
so,
hashtag deep. Hashtag deep for the first conversation. Okay.
right? So my passion is honestly like working with children in schools and stuff like that. So I think I will do that whether I'm working or not. Like, it is just something that I thoroughly love doing. So after I left the daycare, it was summer vacation, so school was closed, and then from September, used to go into the infant school, help out day after day, and I got so attached to these children that
Yeah. Mm.
you would never think in the span of 1 month, because school reopened in September and my lecturer called me in October, like literally the first week, like the 2nd of October. So in that 1 month, I grew so attached to the children, and then they themselves, like, they also really got attached to me. That when I came from the job on the first day and I came to tell them, came to tell them bye bye, because I didn't want to just leave and they didn't know
Of course.
why I left.
Of course.
So I went to tell them bye, and then they were like so sad. I was like, oh, I'm so
Mm.
sorry. But it's, yeah. So that's like literally why I'm here now. It is all because of God putting me back in law. Like, that wasn't my choice, to be honest.
Right. Right.
because because again, I had this plan in my head that after SAFA I would work for 1 year and then go to university right after that 1 year. But
Mm.
then it ended up that I worked for 2 academic years instead of the 1 academic year which I was planning on.
Right.
So it is absolutely, it was
Yeah.
not my choice.
Yeah.
And that is what happened. And I'm just so thankful everything happened how it happened.
Yeah. Like, there's a phrase that I heard recently. We plan and God laughs.
Yep.
It's
I
like,
believe. 100%.
Oh, 1000%, 1000%. Because my story is similar to yours. I was all into business, 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 business. And I used to do a little teaching, again with UFM and the ASAP and, summer programs and just working with kids. And I really liked it, but I never really thought that I would be following it all the way to Japan and teaching. And like you say, your career and your passion, it doesn't have to be the same. For me, it's the same and it is amazing. And it took me a lot of years to get here. So it's amazing. And I'm so happy that you found it as early as you have found it, right? Okay.
I personally always say that.
Right? You're so blessed and lucky to have found it. Okay. A little on a more lighter side. What's something about you that surprises people? Like you say this and they're like, what? Like, huh?
So I will say, yeah, because I'm about to give a story about you.
This is gonna be good, but what's the story about me?
So the one thing that whenever I tell people, they are always like, what? Is when I tell them that I stammer.
Oh.
Kirsten, do you remember the first time you found that out? That your reaction?
That part.
Yeah. So
flabbergasted, guys. I was legit flabbergasted. My mouth was on the ground because like you used to stammer. Like what?
Like it is absolutely amazing. So guys, let me just give you that story when Kirsten found out. So we were at Youth on Fire Movement summer camp, and that year it was in Bogies. So that's Babono, that's the top, that's the northeast, I think, of St. Lucia.
Yes. I take your word for it.
And we were in this massive circle just speaking. I can't remember if we were playing Two Truths and a Lie or we were doing something. And I was like, I stammer. And Kirsten was absolutely shook. And she was like, what? When you speak, you don't only say one thing, like you have so much to say to answer a question and you
Listen, Faustina's answers are always like, okay, part A, 1, 2, 3, part B, 1, 2, 3, C. Let me tell you. And the girl was like, she stammers. I'm like, what?
Yep. And it has been something like I've gotten way better at speaking in public, especially because that's one thing I really hated. I hated reading out loud because that's when like it would always come out. Because when I speak, like it doesn't really happen like in certain like times, I guess. But when I read out loud, like that was where it was very, very visible. And in school, I remember, for example, in secondary school, when we had to read out loud, I used to count the number of people before me. I used to practice in my head. I used to be like, Lord, just let me read it properly. Just let me read it properly. Right. Because it was something that though it was part of my life from the beginning, because I remember like when my sister or my parents give me stories about when I was younger, I laugh at it now. But back then I was crying when they used to like tease me about it. So I've come a long way, and I will always say it is like mainly I would say 4 people who really brought me out of that shell. So 2 of them, one of them is my grade 6 teacher, Mr. Albert Cosney, and also my past principal, Mr. Reeves Lawrence. These 2 men, my goodness, I was always talking. I always had to do something. So from then, like they really tried to push me out of that because they themselves, like they stammer as well. So it was like I was their little, what's the word?
Protege.
Yes. And they used to ensure that, so they used to ensure that I didn't hold myself back just because of that. And then the other 2 people, Joan Frederick and Fimba Anius, and these 2 persons are the co-founders of Kitty Crew Inc. These people changed my life, and it is amazing when I met them. And Auntie June is still in my life. Uncle Fimba unfortunately passed on, but Auntie June is still somebody that every time I have the chance, I say, Auntie June, it's because of you and Uncle Fimba I can do what I'm doing now. And it just goes to show that it's very important for parents to put their children in summer camps and to put them in things
Yeah.
outside of the of the home circle, because I remember I was never home for any form of holidays. I was never home for Easter holidays or summer. Whether it was a camp in the library, I was always doing something.
Right.
And that
Right.
fateful summer when I went to Kiddie for summer fun, I think it was in grade 3, we went on this hike. Like, imagine, I can even still remember exactly what happened that day. We went on a hike, and on that hike, I don't know if it was the heat, but a few of us, we fell sick, and it was not a good look. So when we all got back to the complex, because that's where our friends had to pick us up, we had to like give a story about what happened during the day. And then I felt brave enough then to talk, and I was like, we went on the hike, and then I don't know what happened, but then I puked. I remember that specifically. I puked. And then Auntie John was like, we need to look into you. And as they say, the rest is history. The
Wow.
rest is history.
That's
So
great.
Auntie June has been a big part of my life for grade 3 was how old? 8, so almost 16 years. And she has been there through all of my accomplishments. I always tell her how I do in school. We always catch up. It's
Nice.
because of these 4 people really, and my family and friends. But then these 4 external people, they really,
Mm.
really made a difference.
Nice. Nice. Wow. Okay. So to close up, tell us a little bit about what you're doing with the Unicorn Project. I absolutely love that blog. I recently read, well, your last post, which was just a few hours ago, about the imposter. And I love how you make it so relatable.
It's like 23 hours.
I,
So it's 11 o'clock now. Wow. Japan is really ahead of time.
that is my timer. That is my timer telling, that is my timer. It's telling me what time it is. Thank you so much, sir, for interrupting our call. Anyways, life happens. Yeah, so I was reading the post and you make it so relatable. I'm reading it and I'm thinking, oh my God, like this happens to me. Like I do this. So I really, 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 really love the Unicorn Project. Please tell us a little more about the Unicorn Project.
I'm actually blushing. So today is, what day is it? The the
Well,
4th of July. And I actually just spent the morning just doing some photos and videos for our anniversary, which is next Saturday, the 13th of July. And I'm doing it like earlier because I wouldn't be home on that day. So I had to do it from now. But anyway, the Unicorn Project, the Unicorn Project, the Unicorn Project.
the
I've been
Unicorn.
reflecting on the past year. And wow. So I started a blog in my first year of Sir Arthur. So I think I was just about to finish my first year. So that's 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And after a while, like I just wasn't taking it seriously. So I just stopped writing, or the posts like used to be months apart, which didn't really make sense. And then I just stopped, I think, in 2015. But throughout 2015 to 2017, 2018, it has always been on my vision board blog. That word has always been there. And I've had one vision board per year. So that's like how many years, or just the word blog written there. Honestly, it used to stare me down. I used to be like, oh my goodness. But in 2017, in December, I was reading a book by my favorite speaker, Lisa Nichols, called Abundance Now. And that is literally where the name and content idea and everything came from for the Unicorn Project. Again, everything happens at the right time. Like that was the time for it to happen. And I was planning to launch it in September 2018, but then I got the very bright idea to launch it on my niece's first birthday, so it would be like a gift to her.
Right.
And the purpose of the blog and the Instagram and everything like that is just for us to, as it says, to spread glitter and to encourage others to do the same. Because I'm a big motivator. I like to push people. They may not always like it, but I like people to do well, and I like to, to push them to be better. just like a very good friend of mine, wink, wink.
Now,
Like,
time out, because I need to jump into what you just said, because I remember when I first met Faustina Edward, and I used to push her and, like, just to try and make her get more out of her shell and do more stuff. She was totally against it. She was like, no, I'm comfortable here. Why should I do more? This is what I'm doing, and it's just borderline. So to hear you say that now, it's like, look at you. Look at you. To be like,
yeah,
Christine, you're pushing too much. Like, it's too much. And now my friend is pushing and motivating other people.
indeed. It is amazing how like life happens, I tell you.
Life happens, girl. Life happens.
Life really happens.
Right.
So this is something that I've been doing like a few years now, and I felt like having it in one place, it will reach persons who are even beyond my friend circle or the
Yeah.
persons I associate within UFM.
Yeah.
And over the past year, it has literally done just that.
Right.
I cannot even really put into the amount of words I want. So like I could write a book on the past year. But it has honestly been so phenomenal. I've met so many people, especially on Instagram and especially in the legal world. Oh, honestly, like thinking about it for true, like I'm honestly speechless. The impact we have had over the past year, and just persons messaging and DMing and just saying thank you for that post. Or what really gets me is when persons share the post to the Instagram story. Oh my goodness. I am
All the
like,
feels
yeah, because I'm like, you thought my post was worthy of a reshare
of your
just
Instagram story. Right. Right. Right.
and one that really hit me, like the most recent one that hit me was when a law firm retweeted our Timeout Tuesday one, and that law firm, my goodness, she like the graduate recruitment manager. Her name is Sam. She is the sweetest person ever. And when they retweeted it, I was like, what? Because they have like thousands of followers, and
Right.
they are ones persons to look out for their posts and stuff like that. It's just amazing the impact we have had, and I'm just so proud of it. And I'm really looking forward to the next year. And
Yeah.
I think by the time this goes up, it would have been past our anniversary. I'm not too sure yet, but we have a very big announcement to make, which I'm going to share with you, Christine, for the very first time. So drum roll, please. So something that has been on my radar, and I've actually like written it down for my 2030 goal for the Unicorn Project. It's
20,
actually happening. Yeah, so that's 11 years. Yeah,
a
it's
lot of
amazing
years
how
from
much
now, eh?
I plan. We just like to plan. So yeah, it's all the
I
way down
know.
there.
I know.
But but it is actually happening this year, and I am over the moon. So the news is the Unicorn Project is teaming up with Joel Charles, which is also from Amsterdam, one of my very good friends. He doesn't have like a brand or anything yet. So for now we're just using his name.
Okay.
We're like working on a brand name for him. I don't know. But anyway, so the Unicorn Project and Joel Charles, we will be starting off this year by giving somewhat of a scholarship to someone from the village, and we have decided to do it for a primary school child, because I find most times persons focus on the secondary school children, and they seem to
Yeah.
forget that there are children there before they get to secondary school. So they're in primary school and infant school. So we're focusing on a primary school student from nursery primary school this
Oh,
school
wow.
year, and it is not a massive scholarship as yet, because over the years it will grow. But we are going to be starting off by providing stationery for that child for the year, and also paying their school fees, and also their feeding for the first term. So this is something like he came to me about it literally
Wow.
3 weeks ago.
Wow. And you're
Yeah,
giving me this information on my first conversation?
yeah. And he was like, Tina, I've been thinking about this thing for a while now. I'm like, what's he talking about? And then he said, I think we should do something together. And I was like, Joel, it's like you're in my head. Because this is literally something that I have written down for the Unicorn Project to do then.
Yeah.
And him telling me that now, it just reaffirms something that I think I was telling one of my flatmates maybe last week about we don't have to be rich to give back. We don't
This
have
is
to
so
wait
true.
until we have all the money in the world to be able to
Yeah.
provide scholarships. Like we can do something small right now, and this is what we are doing. We are starting out small. Hopefully
Wow.
next year we can do 2 students instead of one, and then grow and grow from there. But conversations heard it first.
I don't want to laugh. I don't want to laugh. I really do not want to laugh.
And
Because
then him coming to even tell me about it, let me tell you, that took
I
me
don't
by
want
surprise. I was like,
I don't
okay then.
okay.
And we're just running with it.
You know what? You know what? I have a proposition for you.
Okay.
Okay. Because this is also something that I have been thinking about. I have been doing it already in small ways, just as myself. Um,
Yeah.
Before I came here, like I would like just donate some money that I would have. I would give it to UFM and tell them, to help a student. So I have been doing it in a small way, but I have been thinking about how I'm gonna do this in a bigger way. And so I feel like I want to get on board this Joel J. Charles Unicorn Project scholarship. Let's make it a three-way. And
Oh
that
my
didn't sound right.
goodness.
That didn't sound right, but you know what I mean. I want to get on board with this. Let's make it happen. I want to.
Mhm.
Can I?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because we
This,
are
this
looking
video
for
is so lit.
to contribute. So after we give it out, so that will be happening like in the end of August, and from then we'll be actively searching for donors for next year, because as I said, we want to make it bigger, better, reach more students.
Okay,
So we cannot do it on our own. So we need the help of other persons to donate, whether it's
let's
school
do it.
supplies, money to buy the school supplies, money to pay their school fees.
Yep.
So
Let's do it. I am so
oh,
down for this. I am so 1,000% down for this.
oh my goodness, our first official sponsor.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I am so down to do this. I am so excited to do this because I have been thinking of a way like, how am I going to do this on like a bigger scale? Like, because stationery, books, bags, a lot of these things are so inexpensive here. You know what?
Right.
It's so
Yep.
inexpensive here. And I feel like even if I don't have so much money to spend, I could buy stationery and like, send it down to the schools or something. I was
Yeah.
thinking about doing something for Christmas, time.
Mhm.
Give me enough time to save, buy stuff, and to be
Yeah.
able to get it shipped from Japan to St. Lucia. But this, let's make it happen. I am down. Let us do it. I am so excited.
Oh, you will really be
And
happy when I tell you that.
the last question that I have on my list is, what can I do to help you? And you answered it before I even asked it.
Honestly, like wow. So as I said, we are looking for donors for next year, for this year even, just
Yeah.
to help us reach these students, because there are so many deserving students who
Oh
could really use
yes.
the help.
In
So
our community, we need to do it. If we don't do it,
yeah,
who's going to do it?
indeed.
Yeah. Okay. Amazing. Wow. And what else can I say to close this conversation? Wow. Faustina, oh my God. Thank you so much for always being one of my number one supporters with Kersversations. It was with you, encouraging me, who actually gave me, you pushing me, I could say, actually gave me everything that I needed to start Kersversations. And now we're actually having Kersversations. So of course you
Yeah,
have to be my first person. Thank you for allowing me to come on board with the scholarship fund just right away like that. Good, amazing.
not a problem.
Thank you so much for being here. Any final things that you want to say to anyone out there, to any man, woman, child, just anything, and we're going to close with that.
I will just say, based on today's blog post about imposter syndrome, I'll just give what I ended the post with, in that you were meant to be wherever you were called. So don't question where you are. If you are in a meeting, somebody thought it was good for you to be in that meeting. If you were invited to this luxurious party and you're like, me? You were supposed to be there.
Right.
If you like got some recognition, some award, you did the work. So just try to quiet the bunny, as I call them, like the bunnies in your head just telling you that you're not good enough. Because
Yep.
personally, I am still trying to figure out how to deal with it. But this is one of the ways that I have like tried to quiet it down and just say, okay, I'm meant to be there, I'm meant to be there, I'm meant to be there. And then you just have to keep on telling yourself that, to be honest. So you were meant to be there.
Yeah. And you were meant to be there. And we were meant to be right here
At this
at this
time.
time, at this moment.
Mhm.
All right. Faustina Edward, guys, make sure you follow her on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter at the Unicorn Project. Okay. Thank you so much for being here, Tina. I love you. Peace,
No
love,
problem.
light to you.